Welcome everybody to another episode of Atomic World Challenge. We're here this afternoon at Azure Sky Raceway V3 for the GT class of the Atomic World Challenge. It has been a really crazy and eventful session this season, and we're looking forward to what is undoubtedly going to be a big battle today with the amount of people that showed up. We were just shy of breaking a record. We had more people qualify. It was a qualifying record, but not as many people showed up for the race even after they qualified. And the battle is going to be between Bryce and Patient Zero, who are currently, Patient is in the lead in the point standings for the season. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these guys battle it out as they move in through this race, because with 10 people on the board and racing throughout this, the points are going to mean something big for them. So as you can see, the field, Sneaki Gyraffe, once again, the glorious leader of AWC, is in the pole position with Bryce Hall in second, where he wants to be. Zeus in third, Emerald in fourth, Agent Ranger fifth, Patient Zero sixth. Then we had some late qualifiers, a giant within, Daddy Trump, Blazing Gun 671, and Ricky Bobby 7676. Again, it's going to be exciting. This event, AWC, is put together by Sneaki Gyraffe. I'm going to be your commentator. The race has already started, and I'm going to be your commentator, VIPPrimo. This is going to be one of those really weird races because it's very tough with the coverage to cover the entire event. We already have a gigantic crash here coming into the center here. We're going to just keep an eye on the standings from a positional. Let's see what happened here. Daddy Trump, Zeus. Wow. Did not expect that to happen so soon into the race. So as you said, there's a lot of areas in here that are undercover that are going to be tough to cover today. So we're going to be kind of in a challenging position to cover some of the racers. Regardless, we're up for that challenge and seeing exactly how this race is going to tear out. And it's always exciting with these tunnels and tubes. You expect some really great visuals. I do want to apologize to, unfortunately, I usually turn off my notifications while these races are going on. I will not be able to turn them off today because of all the problems we've been having with connectivity on the Xbox side. So I'm going to keep that on. If you see some names popping up or some invites, just please forgive me. It's something hopefully will be resolved towards coming into the next race. But for now, things happen. As we start to jockey for position in this race, I did want to go over that the pro race was actually pretty exciting today. And unfortunately, we don't cover the pro race because the pro race is usually, it's very blasé in the idea that whoever comes in first in the qualifying position usually is the person who has best lap. They lead the most laps. You kind of get the idea of where I'm going with that. The thing that happened today was a lot of racers actually picked the same vehicle, which got that vehicle banned, by the way. Which is one of the new cars that Rockstar just put out, and with the changes they made, it's a very overpowering car. So what I wanted to do was I wanted players to be able to see, at least have the idea of being able to pro race, and the pro race is one of the only races I actually get to race in that I don't get to cover. So the person that we're going to be putting in the links in the comments below will be for B-Dogs Gaming. And it's his channel, it's his Twitch channel, and those races happen at Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're hoping we're going to let him know about that so that we can get people to view his channel. I actually view the channel while I'm racing and go back to look at it to see how things are. No, I do not break any grand records with it or do anything fun with it. It really is, for me, just a fun race, as I'm sure it is with everybody here as well, to do the GT, which is our most competitive, easily class. I'm going to move back in the field here to see where. Let's go to Agent Ranger real quick. But regardless, it is going to be fun to watch, and if you guys that are interested in those pro class style races want to see them and see how they come up, because it's a totally different style of race. Wow. Big crash in the corner there. I think we missed it a little bit, but we'll catch up with that hopefully later. But for those of you who like seeing those style of races, you'd be able to catch up with it and see exactly how those races are different from the GT class because it's competitive. As you know, there is a part time that needs to be kept with. Today's part time is 58 seconds. As we can see here, we already have a couple people who have dropped off and gotten a handicap from it. I am expecting with this race, because of how fast it is, a 57-second time for most of the players that are here, especially when, like I said, here's, Bryce with Patience Zero's already moved up the rankings here. Even though Patient had a very slow qualifying time, he qualified way back in the pack. He's still, I'm betting he's already broken his par time for this race. And here is Bryce battling out with Daddy Trump. Going to try to get past him here because he needs that position, especially with Patient being up in front. Patient is somebody that has already been ahead in the point standings. He won last year's season and is somebody that really keep an eye on for, because he's probably going to be a champion that's going to, if somebody doesn't come in and try to, smack him down a little bit, he's going to keep running away with these championships. And he knows how to qualify. He knows how to stick to par. I don't even think he has a handicap at the moment. So he's been good about keeping into those reins and being competitive with his times. So that's a big deal when it comes to guys that are trying to, run away with a championship. And then you have somebody like Daddy Trump here. Oh, a little bumping and rubbing. Trying to keep away from him, but he's honking away. Get out of the way. And we have a little traffic coming in behind those guys. Bryce is getting a little perturbed, and you can tell he's trying to push his way through, and now they've got traffic coming in behind them, pushing their way through. Emerald on the inside. Yeah, as you can see, sometimes with the viewing, it gets a little bit weird because you don't know how to do it. Oh, there's Patience right in his sights. He's already gotten past Trump, so he's going to be going for that position right there. We're going to stick with this battle because the points-wise, the overall standings are big for this competition. And like I said, Bryce is one of those guys that's very hungry about it. Daddy Trump has been hungry. He's not had a lot of luck with his cars either. He's been changing between vehicles. Blazing Gun having a little bit of a twitchy problem going on here with his car, and let's see how those things happen. And oh, wow. A little bumping and rubbing going into the turn. Daddy Trump takes the position back. Bryce, I'm guessing right now, is probably swearing away in his microphone. Unfortunately, we can't hear it. But you can see from the damage on the front bumper of his car that he's been running for that position there. And we see Patient up there. He's going to stick away with that third position. 56s. So there you go. Patient dropping to the 56 with Zeus up with his 56. 57 from Bryce trying to keep it even. Oh, big crash into the pole there. That's going to put him back a little bit. Emerald takes the position away. We're going to move up to Patient Zero's position here and see where he's standing at, because there is a gigantic battle going up in front for the standings here. We have Daddy Trump trying to move into the position here. So here's Patient. Looks like he's got a little bit of a ways to go before he catches back up with Zeus. Zeus is cremating that line up there. This thing is you get in these battles where somebody will say, well, part-time is part-time. Well, what really is the deal with part-time? Part-time is the time that makes everybody competitive. It does not mean that everybody's going to stick to it or that everybody is running that time. Most of the times, the reason that qualifying times are slower than actual race times is because you get in with people and you start being competitive. And once you're competitive, Giant Within has stacked in with Patient. He didn't like that. So once let's see where is Daddy. Emerald's moved ahead of. Oh man, he's going to not be happy about that. Let's move back to Bryce again. So as you get into a race and you get against other competition, the tendency to drive faster you stop paying attention to your times. You stop paying attention to other stuff. You just pay attention to taking that car around the track as fast as you possibly can. And that is kind of the part that is working against you, because every time you go below that par time, you get dinged for it. And it means that when you qualify later on, that's a big problem, especially when you qualify like a 107, and then when you do your race lap, you do a 56. We usually see anywhere from 2 to 3 second changes. There's a massive battle here between Daddy Trump and then, that inside line did not do what Daddy Trump did. Giant Within is becoming some lap traffic here, as he's kind of glitching around the circle here, and these guys are getting into each other, trading paint in an old school fashion. There's Agent Ranger falling in behind. I'm sure he wants a piece. Oh, big crash. That's not good. And thanks for the honk, Bryce. We appreciate it. Giant Within trying to clear the position here. Bryce needs to make up some spots here if he's going to be moving against the top position. So there's your 56, Patient Zero, pushing it hard. So like I said, he's not having a good day. Let's see where Bryce is. We're going to move up to we're going to move up to Daddy Trump real quick. So yeah, like I said, if these guys are dropping below the par times when they're doing what they're doing, it's something that we look out and we take it very seriously. Some people would say, well, what about sandbagging? Yes, sandbagging is a real and an adequate problem that we have addressed over time. And as you can see in our rules section, we do big things to make sure that that sandbagging isn't something that's keeping players from being able to play and be competitive, especially when newer people come in and they want to race competitive. We want them to be able to have a race series that they can get involved in, that they know is going to give them the potential to be a winner. So we can see here Daddy Trump, Agent Ranger taking the position away in his Elegy Retro Custom. So yeah, so we also hope that you guys tune into that Pro Series race, and like I said, if you are interested in qualifying for the AWC, wow, that a cutoff that put Agent into the wall. So if you're interested in qualifying for the AWC, we would love to have you, and you can contact Sneaki Gyraffe. You can see his username here, or myself, and Bryce Hall is actually one of the people that can qualify you as well. So any of us will be able to take care of you and make sure that you get into the next race. So is Agent going to be a little upset about his little cutoff here, or is he going to get a little revenge, or is he going to let that slide? Is the real question, because he's moving up on Daddy Trump with a vengeance. And I'm a little bit disappointed that Daddy Trump there didn't use his shafter V12 that we're so accustomed to seeing him run here. He may have been a little bit scared because in his first race using the vehicle, he ended up getting a 3-second handicap, which hasn't played much of a role. And you can see from his lap times, it's kind of pushed him back. Usually with 3 seconds is kind of the go-between number. So if you've got a 3-second handicap, you should be running right where you need to be when the actual laps come off. Cutting off Emerald there. So Bryce Hall is behind Agent. Where is Bryce? Is he right behind? Oh yeah, he's coming up on these guys. He's hungry. There's a massive battle between these guys, duking it out up there. And as they're fighting, like I said, we drop back to Bryce for a reason. They're going to get into it. Bryce is not having any luck with this Banshee. I doubt we'll see him using that car next season, next qualifying run. He had so much momentum coming into the turn here, and now it's kind of wafted away as he comes around the corner. Kind of milking it. I wonder if there's any damage to that car that we're not aware of. There, look at that. Oh, big crash into the corner. Putting Emerald into the wall. Daddy Trump's legging it out. Kind of wish I could have seen where that really came from or who was responsible for that. Daddy Trump has been in if you've ever known any kind of blocking in racing, people do it. Unfortunately, with blocking, it's one of those things of you end up having both players pay for it if you block. We've never had really any kind of rule that covered any kind of blocking in AWC, so it is what it is. But I don't think that that's something that anybody's going to be happy about seeing, especially with the fight that's going on up here. And they're just kind of playing it out left and right. Let's see about first position. Zeus has still got his 56.8, and Patient is up there, so we're probably seeing some distance from them. I still want to stick with this fight here because it could revert to something big. And it looks like these guys have kind of left him, and Agent's taking some space away. Just gonna keep an eye here for 1 second to see where they're at. Yeah, Agent's walking away with it, so we're gonna jump on up to Patient, see where he is in this equation, see how far ahead, because we're finished. That's the start-finish line right up ahead. Yeah, sorry about some of the load times that we're seeing. He's way up front. So we're gonna do a walkthrough about what times or what. He's getting into some lap traffic there, it looks. So he's passing the start-finish line now. So we're going to 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, kind of count it off between the difference here. It looks like it's going to be about 15 seconds at least. Nope, he turned around the corner there, so about 10, 11 seconds as he moves through some lap traffic. Ricky Bobby up here, and probably one of the coolest Feltzers I've ever seen. Kind of wish he had the big wing on it. He'll probably disagree with me on that, but that's okay. Love the wheel structure on it. Love how some of these things really do end up turning into car shows, no matter how you like it or not. Had a crazy meeting before the drivers meeting today, and went really well with the group that we have on. Chewy did qualify this week. I'd like to see him come back and do a competitive run and put some numbers down. It'd be really good. So Ricky pulls over, and now I suddenly hear people coming back to me. So, and I'm gonna let them know. So yeah. So we're gonna stick with Patient here, even though he's got some time. Oh, you know, we're gonna fall back to Bryce. It looks like he's trying to move. So he just did a big par breach to get his time up, and Agent's in his position. There he is with Giant. I believe they've lapped those guys. Yeah, he's got damage on the car. Both of those do, and that's why when they come in the corner, they're having a tough time keeping the times down. Yeah, so we got a connectivity back on the microphones so I can hear the players now running through. So you can see some of the guys going to drop off there. And like I said, again, I apologize for some of the pop-ups that are going to happen. It does happen, and unfortunately with the problems that are happening with the communications right now, we're going to have to just kind of run with it. Bryce is not having a good day. I don't hear anything in his microphone, so he's focused directly on putting the race numbers down. So as that Agent is in front of him, and Agent is knocking on the doors of the leaders, or at least trying to. So the lead. Somebody crashed and we're trying to look for it. Agent needs a third place position to get him back in the standings. And there's those guys up there. They're now, because of the par breaches, are kind of pulling back on their energy. We see Emerald behind everybody. Even though everything is some distance, this is such a fast track that it's not as far separated as it seems, because of the times are so fast and the track is so quick. This is actually a upgraded version of a race that we did season 1, which was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it was a lot of places where you could really kind of use the curbs to your advantage, and that was something that we wanted to move away from. There's Bryce, just stammering away for that win. And that's the other thing is the cost of winning this one race. I mean, putting all that power into it, and putting all the power into it, now when he comes to qualify, they could end up being in the pro class, and the pro class only pays out a lower amount of points than the GT class, because the GT class with the par is so competitive. But that's the problem is that once the par time is the dynamic. So if you break the par, it kind of hurts you in the end. And that's why we continue to upgrade this par system over and over again. And it's funny because I hear people saying, these guys are going to get really angry at us for breaking par, because they do it. And it's the reason that we put the systems in place to make sure that, newer players or players in slower cars, as Bryce moves ahead of Agent here. And he takes it back, skids big time, but it looks like he pulled it back together. Bryce's damage to his car is hurting him bad, and you can't really slow down. As you see him turn on that inside line, you can't really slow down. And so with the par, that really does, it's what's made to keep everybody in that kind of standings, to keep them competitive. So new guys we always have 4 or 5 new players per event that get in touch with us and say, hey, I want to play this, how do I do it? And we want to be able to make sure that they can do it and it'll be competitive. Whoa! Giant Within's car is having some issues, and well, he looks like so they're having some issues right now, talking about with the way Giant Within is having some car problems, and his car's not putting the power out that he wants. And that's the thing is those issues can be a big problem. Let's jump up to the Zeus run. This is somebody that's trying to been competitive. I'm guessing that Patient, if you'll notice, his name changed to FS as we came into Series 2 here. And that Jester is a fast car on this track, so it can take turns. Went into the pits. The pits, unfortunately, do not work here, Zeus. Dropping back to Patient. See how far off he is. And we'll look at the tunnels and then the chicane here. Oh, he's eyeing Zeus. So can he make it? Can he catch up before this race ends? We've been going for this for a while now. I kind of lost track of time because I was looking at how this is going. And there's some There's the lap traffic we got going on. 56 and a 55 from Patient. That's going to hurt him. Bryce Hall's moved up now. He's got best lap. And that's what Bryce wanted. He's got a knock on the door here because the points are times the amount of players that are in the room. That's 9 players. So if he gets 15 in first and 12 in second, that'd be 12 times 9. And then Bryce would be get 10, and that would be 10 times 9. So, respectively, you can see this position that he has to overcome to get up there. But Bryce is saying to hell with it. He's giving it all up. And if he comes in this position and does get best lap, he'll get an additional 2 points. And what happened? Wow. Let's go back to him real quick. Zeus has took a massive. Patient is taking that position and walking away with it. This is where consistency and attrition really do something in the long haul. So does he now risk more of a handicap to go chase him down? And here he's going for it. I just doesn't see why else he has another reason to go for this. This is going to be a battle for the win here. And I don't even see anybody behind them. They're just getting so. This is how crazy they've gotten to run right now. Both cars terrorizingly fast. And moving into a position to get into another battle here. He wants him bad. It's all been about the turns here and how everybody takes them. As he moves around the corner, you can see him making up time. You can see him pulling in second to second. Blazing Gun having a problem there, dropping off the page. Hopefully there's enough laps left that he'll be able to still show as an active player and he can get some additional points for that. It's tough to tell now. It looks like Patient's pulling away again. These guys are going all out. I don't even think they're looking at part times anymore. They're just looking at the wins. And there's a long out turn of Patient as Patient. Look at that. It actually flipped. That's how close it was. And there he goes again, pulling away. You just want to look at at Zeus and say a little bit out in the edge there, travel a little bit more time coming out of the turns. That Jester has to have more power coming out of the turn. So coming up on lap 26 for one player, but I'm pretty sure these guys are up on 28 or 29. Okay, so this looks like the last lap. So here we go. Does Zeus have what it takes to rein in Patient? And who's back in the back here? So there's a 55-56. Bryce still has top time, but he's going to need to take a second position or at least have Patient drop a position for him to be back in this battle. And I don't know how it's going to pull out there. They touch. Inside line. Going around the corner here. He's take the position. He's got it. How does Patient Zero respond? Can he bring it back? Coming around we're coming up to almost the last final turn here. There's a little chicane here, double back on it, that he has gone back to the sides, and we see a finish line in the distance. That's going to mean big time. It means things are going to stand equally with as he skids across the line with a 1-2. That means that if Bryce can continue to gain his position or single out to that position, we're going to try to pick him up real quick. And he's right on him, so let's go to him, see how close he is to the end. If he can maintain his position, which he is in the solid third with Agent coming in right behind him. And he crashes right on the last corner. Oh, and he gets hit again. Another big crash on the inside line. Agent takes the third position. Bryce is going to take fourth position. There goes Emerald in fifth. Wow. that was the power of racing. And Bryce has already left. I'm sure he's steaming away. Not happy about that. There's going to be a lot of little dings and problems here with everybody running. I mean, a couple of people made par. The rest of them just went full speed out. And yeah, Bryce crashed in the final corner. So that's your standings. Zeus, Patient, Agent Ranger, Bryce with his fastest lap, Emerald, Daddy Trump, Ricky, and Sneaky. What an amazing race, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week in AWC. Bye.